Welcome to the Didi and Lital Show. Advice, thoughts, and stories from a married couple on cybersecurity, technology, and life in general. Now here are your hosts, Didi and Lital.
Hello and welcome to the Didi and Lital Show. We are almost at the time to go on a holiday.
Yes.
Going to the Canadian Rockies. We'll tell you next time how it went. We're doing, again, kind of a hiking, biking tour with the kids. We'll tell you all about it.
Yes. So when we come back, I'm going to give you heads up time to think of top 5 songs for the next time.
Don't ruin it. We'll
Okay.
do it left next time.
Now this time I have an awesome idea. Yeah, I got it from Alex Kowarski, my favorite new running coach at Peloton. If you don't take him.
He's awesome.
He's unbelievable. He does theme.
He's a rower.
He's
transformed to a running coach.
Yes.
He runs fast.
Whenever I see somebody that's 6'6" or whatever that giant is, and running, I say, holy shit, how those knees keeping up? The main thing I was thinking of, because I did a class of his during this week, he did a theme that is related to John Hughes, music used in John Hughes movies.
Oh my God, that's going to be tough.
No,
Okay.
it's really good. And producer Dave probably has already his list.
Yeah. The two of you can kind of, I wonder how much my memory.
So I'll start by giving you an easy one. So the easiest.
So the game today is 5 songs from John Hughes movies. Is that the thing?
Your top 5. I have like hundreds.
Hundreds. Are there hundreds of songs in his? It's not a musical.
All these things. This is the definition. Producer Dave, help me out here, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, 16 Candles alone, I think, has 24 songs. So some of them more than others. But
Yes.
the one obvious one that I think most people would say first is "Don't You Forget About Me." Wouldn't they?
Exactly.
Yeah. Right.
But that's also the best one, and it has a very good story.
Yep.
Because that band that nobody remembers and are a bunch of British limey sissies, the producer had to go and yell at them to record the song because he tried it in every other way. He flew to England to convince them. They rejected it.
Are there one-hit wonder?
No.
No.
They have a lot of
They had a really good song called
Yeah.
"Alive and Kicking." They have
Yes.
a couple other hit songs. Yep.
yes, not one hit wonder, but Don't Forget About Me is clearly by far their
Awesome
best
song.
Yes.
best known song. The other one is the one that everybody remembers from Pretty in Pink because it's the name of the movie, Pretty in Pink. Even though it does have another, I think If You Leave also was in that movie.
OMD, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So if I need to pick between the two, this is a real big fight. Oh yes, you just raised smack in the middle, my number 3.
Is that right?
Yes.
What's that? Are you gonna?
True.
We can wait.
True. So
True. By Spandau Ballet. Yep.
By Spandau Ballet. It's just unbelievable. It's one of the that is also awesome. The We Are Not Alone from the dance scene there in Breakfast Club is also good, but that's not on my top list. So we are now at number 3. Number 4 is Oh Yeah by Yellow because everybody remembers that one. Because everybody.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. But I'm surprised that you're not saying
Because
Justin
that's Ferris Bueller.
They are.
Basic.
You saw all these movies.
Sure, everybody from the kids of the 80s saw all those movies.
Is it a
Ferris
little
Bueller.
unfair to include Twist and Shout? It is now linked to the movie for sure, but
I don't
I mean,
think
it's a Beatles song.
Yeah.
I wouldn't remember it.
But Kashane is also that, but
Right.
still people remember it very, very, very well. So now the last one that I pick on the list is something that most people don't know, but you have heard this a million times. There's in the Some Kind of Wonderful, there's a song by a band called Lick the Teens that does Elvis, that Can't Help Falling in Love. Beautiful, sounds very Irish, sounds nothing like the original, and is probably one of the best covers of Can't Help Falling in Love with You.
Let's play it for a second, because I have no idea what you're talking
You
about.
heard this
Never
in the
heard
car
it.
with me a million times.
Not you. I think I got annoyed about the
Yes.
remake every time you play it. Okay, that's the most annoying song ever. The most annoying version. Awesome song.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? This is like swearing in a church. What are they doing? They're butchering the song. But it reminds me of the amazing Elvis. When is it with I Can't Help Falling in Love with You, when he has the singer coming in?
Yes.
And that is for me.
No, it's
when he starts.
when he
is
sings and the opera singer sings.
Is it
It's
that
in the
song?
no. It's Are You Lonesome Tonight?
Are You Lonesome Tonight?
There's a-
Okay, yes.
Somebody basically
He didn't know
pranked
that
Elvis
somebody will come and sing with him, and
an operatic version of Are
and
You
he-
Lonesome Tonight?
and he is like he starts crying, like he
Yes.
cannot stop himself. Do you know that?
I'm
Producer
not familiar
Dave?
with that. I'm trying to find it right now.
Find it. It is
We can-
unrelated
we can-
for the topic. We can bring it towards the end.
Well,
but,
exactly. We can end with that.
We can end with the Elvis having this opera singer start singing with him. He's surprised, and he breaks in crazy laughter and then starts crying, like he cannot sing.
Yep.
It's hilarious. But that's how I feel about this version.
Yeah.
What is this? It was disgusting.
Lick the teens.
I don't know. Lick the whatever. That was horrible.
Okay. So, do you have your list, Lital, or no?
No. I am gonna. I'm not
Dave,
into
how about
that.
how about you?
I really like Carla DeVito song from the Breakfast Club, We Are Not Alone. I think you mentioned that.
Yep.
I mean, I'd probably put Dunkashane up there for sentimental reasons.
Yep.
Not that it's the greatest song in
Yep.
the world. I do like, I would go with If You Leave, and then my wild card. I know I didn't really put them in order.
Yep.
I guess my wild card would be, I do like the version of Every Time You Go Away.
Yep.
That concludes Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, which
Yep.
is a very sweet moment at the end of the movie.
Yeah,
So that's me.
I agree. The other thing that is also awesome, and it's not on that list that you flashed, is in 16 Candles, when when she opens the door, they play Thompson Twins. I forget the name of the song that they play from Thompson Twins, but which, by the way, if you don't know, Thompson Twins are not even a duo; they're a trio.
They're also not twins.
and they're also not
Obviously.
twins.
Right. Yeah.
So-
Young Americans is also in 16 Candles. I don't know if
Yes.
that qualifies. Yeah.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly. One of the I love that Bowie song.
I would just say, don't you forget about me. That's it.
But go watch
That's it.
John Hughes movies. Listen to the songs. Trust me, if you're a Gen Xer, you'll be happy. And by the way,
You'll be happy after you listen to our Gen X episode and you realize how horrible we are.
This
Yes,
is-
yes.
Thompson Twins song was called If You Were Here.
yes,
Oh, yeah.
trust me. If you want a run through memory lane, watch a couple of John Hughes movies.
sure.
Listen to the songs. It will bring tears to your eyes. By the way,
Not to me. I don't care.
Another good Xer that is there. If you remember Some Kind of Wonderful, Eric Stoltz is ours,
Oh, all right. Well, yeah.
Well, Didi, we're 10 minutes in. Let's move.
and he's very good looking.
And he got replaced by Michael J. Fox, who is probably a boomer for
Yes.
Back to the Future.
Yes.
So we lose again.
Yes.
Oh, producer Dave, I do have one person nowadays in politics that is another Gen Xer that
Okay.
looks really good. Peter Exit. I cannot say anything about him other than, oh, fuck, he looks so good.
Okay.
So that's...
We'll take him. We'll take him.
We'll take him. We don't have that many to be happy with.
Yes.
Uh,
So,
topic of today.
Topic of today It all started with a paper I read.
It's always thought like that. Something you read.
MIT published a paper. Well, I read. I'm an old person. I still read. So I don't get summaries from AI. So apparently MIT did a research, which I found to be flawed and stupid, but it did capture a lot of titles, headlines, because it said 95% of all AI projects in big enterprise are failing. And this was really interesting because it's just about at the right time when there's, I kind of go back to my oldness. Gartner published a paper in the early 90s, which they then retracted in the mid 90s on the fact that mainframe is dead. They basically wrote a very long-winded paper that explained all the reasons why IBM mainframes are done. They named star companies, all going to be in the 2020s, more valuable than IBM by far. They named HP. Now, they named Sun. Doesn't exist. DG. Nobody even, if you're outside of Massachusetts, you don't even know that Data General existed ever. And the only reason you know this in Massachusetts is because you go next to the wreckage of their existence and see all the places that are there. They're talking about Silicon Graphics, amazing computers, amazing design companies dead now for I don't know how many years. So if you go by those companies, none of them exist. You go one by one by one by one, none of them exist. You know which company they missed?
IBM that is still alive?
No, they missed Microsoft.
Microsoft.
They missed Microsoft and Oracle, the two companies that actually kicked IBM's butt, really kicked IBM's butt.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they didn't mention AWS because AWS didn't even
exist at the time.
I think Bezos was not even selling books out of his trunk at that point in time. So they didn't even think about these things. But the core idea there that something is happening in the industry and people are not going to accept IBM mainframes. Oh, another company that they didn't mention, and I have to give it a mention, is Cisco. They mentioned that Cisco might be a player, but they didn't realize how big of a player it's going to be in the server market and the networking market and play a key aspect of internetization of networks that basically opened up the death of mainframe.
You're basically talking about how valuable those tech predictions are. I mean,
it's not that
probably they're not.
So what I wanted to say about, I'll let you speak in 2 seconds.
Okay.
The thing that I wanted to say is that prediction that a big disruption is coming was right. They did see that people don't want to watch green screens that are centrally managed and centrally owned by you. They saw a democratization of the data
with a PC. The moment in time.
They didn't see the PC.
So what was the reason for them to write that mainframe is dying? It's not the PC?
They were not thinking of the PC. They were thinking of what is called the mini server, those big Unix servers.
That are more localized.
But a very distributed model. They thought that the centralized mainframe is going to die. Everything is going to be democratized. They didn't.
Which they were right. It just became the PC.
It became the PC.
And then the data set.
And it's not only became the PC, it became a very internet loosely coupled, everything is capable. And one of the things that they predicted, but they predicted wrong, is that they said, look, banks are not going to put all their stuff on the mainframe. This is going to open up the consumer banking and things like that. And it is true, because if you think about it, in 96, in Israel, there were 0 websites that you could transact in with banks. Everything had to go through the bank's mainframes. By 2004, every single one of us had an online account that we could transact whatever we wanted in every bank, even to
we could not find actually a retail branch to go to that would actually accept us.
Exactly. This is how aggressive that revolution was. So they got the prediction right. They got the companies wrong. They got the usage wrong.
Okay.
But they saw this big amazing disruption that is coming. And the other thing that they didn't predict, and this time around they are predicting, is that it's not going to actually replace. So IBM right now is worth a lot more than it was worth back then, because it actually grew. And a lot of the companies that they predicted will die, CA, that basically tried its best to kill itself, and other companies like that, all grew. BMC grew. A lot of these companies that they predicted are going to die because they're very mainframe central, all of them became big, much bigger. But they're overshadowed by Apple, Microsoft, Amazon.
They're bigger than they were, but they're not in a leading position the way they were at that time.
Exactly.
Because new leaders emerged and they're way, way, way bigger.
And they're way, way bigger because the market itself, the amount of money that is in the market went from...
The whole economy around that ballooned.
Exactly. Because they also missed the prediction that the time of when e-commerce is going to replace real commerce. Because you remember they said in 99 when the dot-com boom happened, they said e-commerce is going to replace commerce. The fact is that e-commerce has replaced commerce. It just
was slower, I think, than maybe
it was not slower. It was different.
Okay.
Because people thought that what they needed to do was replace the way that they transacted, and it's not true. It just changed the way you do transact. They were thinking of all these companies that are going to build storefronts on the web, and it's not that. It's actually the optimization of delivery mechanism. It's the optimization of how you do storage. It's the final mile companies. It changed the way you do commerce. Commerce itself had to change for e-commerce to grow.
Yeah, and I want to point to that because obviously since we are alluding to the AI era and all the predictions around that and what will stand and what will completely collapse. I saw a Microsoft prediction a week ago that by 2030, all kind of applications as we know them will be gone and completely replaced by agents. So basically what they are saying is that everything right now is a relational database, which has a UI and deterministic queries on top of it, like if it is a Salesforce, if it is an ERP system, if it is whatever. Agents are going to basically replace those applications with much better way of making it contextual, relevant to the end user, not that deterministic, flexible, fast, all this, which I think we probably agree that this transition is going to happen. There was a big debate of, does it mean that all those companies that build SaaS applications are just gone, or they become the agents, because all of them are now trying to become the agents? Or there is the Microsoft belief is that none of them will exist. Not, it will be just the Microsoft of the world that provide those agents for you. So that will be interesting. I think that's kind of like the way. But at the same time, I also heard a conversation about Gen AI pushing some of the latest adopters of tech that already started having it with the age of sensors and IoT. Like think about agriculture and supply chain and all those places. They already in the last 2 decades, 1 decade kind of moved into more computerization, digitization, cloudization of a lot of processes and stuff. Now, with the benefit of AI, it will push them to the last kind of place of getting there because they will see all the efficiency gains. But at the same time, it's not going to happen overnight because they're already kind of at the edge of efficiencies. And, you know, if you are in agriculture, if you are in supply chain, efficiencies are pretty good already. That's your business. Margins are your business. So yes, AI can push you, but at the end of the day, you are still moving stuff. You're still so the efficiencies, like you're saying, may not come from, a better application, better agents doing the supply chain stuff. It may come just from the change in robotics, or it may come from, the autonomous vehicle driving 24/7. Nothing that has to do specifically with the way the software runs those businesses. Maybe the cheaper energy will be the one to actually completely change them. So the big leap may not come from this software agentic change that a lot of people think will get injected. It may help, but a lot of those areas are already pretty smooth and running, so it will be kind of negligible. Maybe it will be a change, but the change that will come is coming from completely other areas
that's the thing.
Sweeping changes.
That's the thing that I think people need to understand. So our chief product officer, G2, said very clearly that if you are an AI questioner or doubter, you really don't have room in
the room.
Exactly. And
if you doubt AI, go home.
Something along these lines. And I'm usually not as extreme as he is, but on this one I am with him. It's not so. As you know, I still believe that AI is still your dumber uncle. I have not been convinced that it's not your dumber uncle.
Can I tell a story for a second?
Sure.
Apropos this.
The dumber uncle.
So I'm in a group of Jews and Israelis living in the area discussing, anti-Semitism and all the pains of life today in the Jewish diaspora abroad. And one person comes in and she says, you don't know how anti-Semitic ChatGPT is. I'm asking it questions and it gives me answers about Israel doing genocide and blah, 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 and all kinds of stuff. And it has so many anti-Israel and anti-Zionist biases, and we need to change it. So I decided that every day I'm going to spend 2 hours re-educating ChatGPT about the situation in the Middle East and change its biases. So she's sitting and she tells us about hours of conversations with ChatGPT. When she challenges his assumptions, she uploads some data to change, and he changes. She's amazed that he tells her all the time, you're so right. Yes, I get it. I got it wrong before. And she said, listen, guys, all of us, we need now to spend all our time re-educating AI. If we do that, we'll have less of a bias in ChatGPT. I kind of where should we start? By telling her that she's on the prompt level? And she did say, the problem is every day when I'm coming back to the conversation, he forgot yesterday's conversation. So it's like the dumb Alzheimer's uncle that didn't remember that yesterday she told him that he is racist and should tame down. Now she needs to re-educate him all over again.
So let me tell you a joke about that person. So let's make this a personal thing. So our kids were just visiting Israel, so they asked your mom, where did the birds and how the kids come to the world? And she was explaining about the stork.
It's not a real story.
I know, but it's still funnier this way.
It's not a real story.
It's still funnier this way. And she was telling them about the storks and that somebody magically showed up, and that's how they magically showed up in our lives. And then they asked each other, should we tell her about fucking or should we let her die this way? So
not a true story,
but it's still funny, and it's exactly like that lady.
Should we tell her that ChatGPT is not educated at the prompt level?
Now I want to reverse back into where.
Let's go back. Comic relief.
After a comic relief moment, let's talk a little bit about where does Didi view AI is going to be successful, and where I think AI is going to fail, at least initially.
You go.
So let's start with where it's going to fail in the first 5 years, the way I see this, unless something dramatically changes. Unless we start investing heavily in nuclear power, there's not you cannot replace developers, real amounts of developers, significant amount of developers and developer power with AI. And
We're getting to a point that it is either the cost of energy or the cost of a human being.
yes,
Right?
Yes, exactly. And
It's like neurons, bioneurons, or GPUs.
yes, I'm not going to even get to the argument. This is a stupid argument because right now, AI is not coming close. I'm still believing in the dumber uncle model, but it is better than most of the stupid engineers that come out of the stupid universities right now that can't code Hello World to save their lives and can't code bubble sort. It's just unbelievable how incompetent they are. But it is better than them. But the way that the human brain works, it is a very efficient machine to take organic fuel and turn it into computation. And most, let's say, sort of competent developers, I'm not talking about good developers, competent developers, electricity-wise, are more efficient right now than the AI machines. It's not it's just the way biology works. Unless we find a better way to reduce the cost of energy consumed by CPUs, the coding efforts are not going to be automate very effectively. It is really a physics. That's why your buddy Elon said that people need to invest in STEM people. And that's why I'm so saying that the universities are stupid, because right now we're at a blockage that unless we start building a lot more nuclear facilities and improve the energy consumptions of the GPUs.
That's the limiting factor to actually exploring the full potential of AI.
The full potential of AI, at least to replace building software. Because
I
now,
think for a lot of things, I mean, that everything you start thinking about the compounding effect of the use of GPUs on energy consumption, we will get to a point that it's just impossible.
Yes. So
we're already there.
So this is why a lot of these projects fail, because everybody hates developers because they're basically a bunch of annoying, stupid nerds that you don't want to talk to. Every time you talk to a software engineer, you want to punch them. As a software engineer,
but you're saying carbon developers are better than silicon.
Than silicon, at least the next
energy consumption.
At least for the next 5 years.
You feed them with cheap food and they produce it.
Exactly.
Some pizza.
Exactly. So replacing developers, everybody wants it. All these projects are failing.
Don't you think it's awesome when you think about it as a kind of from evolutionary biology standpoint?
It is.
Think about how awesome it is that we have a pretty efficient brain that, as we said, runs on pizza and produces stuff that you need to light out a full town to do the equivalent.
Yeah. So think of
It's awesome. Biology is great.
Think of Back to the Future. If you remember, he feeds, when the professor comes back from the future, he puts trash rather than plutonium into the time machine. So yes, our brains are very, 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 very efficient and very efficient machines to create electricity. So that's a failing proposition. Where is it not a failing proposition? You know where I'm enjoying AI the most? So I don't write anymore anything. I type my...
You prompt Gemini and it
No.
gives you
I use Canvas. I don't use...
Or whatever.
So
Google models.
So if you use Notion to take notes, or you take Gemini to use the Google equivalent of Notion to write notes, I just prefer the Google one because I'm more inclined to work with the Google ecosystem. Mm-hmm. Everything I write there, and I ask it to fix the English and fix the structure and fix the spelling, it does an amazing job, because it's like thinking of having a mediocre English teacher correct. You know the old joke of I dated the teacher, I sent her a love letter and she corrected it. This is exactly the same. So you send it your notes and it comes back corrected. And if it's not accurate, no biggie. It's not, this is not something that I need this accuracy for.
Right.
But if you're trying to, improving human communication, all the stuff that you don't actually need accuracy. You need an okay outcome.
And some creativity and
No. So let's talk about
style proofing.
This is you can do your list and I'll do my list. So correcting documents and looking at code and coming back with suggestions and saying, you know what, this could be a better idea. It's not as it's basically somebody on your side that helps you correct a written document. For now, it does a very good job. Now, what do you think it can do? And by the way, in organizations right now, most organizations create tons of documents answering RFPs, answering questions.
Yeah, the efficiencies. All the efficiencies, the process
doing the
efficiencies.
audits, all the stuff that does these things. This and AI does very well because it doesn't need to be very smart. All it needs to do is take a list of data and format it.
Everything that is basically taking data, taking process, and kind of like redoing it, super easy. I love dumping data into a spreadsheet and telling Google Sheet, Gemini, blah, 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 to instead of me doing pivot table, it just does it. It's beautiful. Like I did a quick research, checked 3 things, I did a survey on the internet, got the results, dumped them in, and instead of me starting to play about, size of company and level of title and all those kind of things, what's the response? I just told it, go break it in the all possible ways, and it just did. Give me the graph. It's like 1 minute. The efficiencies, the time saved, the fact that, I had something in mind that I want to test. It took me 1 day to place the online test survey, and the day after survey is back, I have the results, I have the conclusions, I know what's working. It's like finally the dream of, it was always promised to us, like, we are the era that people talked about efficiencies and how computers will replace everything. But we still, human beings, had to configure everything, right? Like 90% of our work was configuring stuff, building all those stuff so that we'll get the outcome. I think cutting from where I decide I want to do something to I have outcomes, shortening this time is the magic of AI at the moment for me. It could be in writing, it could be in ideation, it could be in like, I want to know what are my best performing customers, what's my best performing campaigns, blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. I just ask it and give me the answer. Now, is it always right? No. Do you need to question it and check and verify? Always, of course. But it's damn good. They're shortening the time from I need to know that to I have an answer and it's clean and it's beautifully presented and I can do something with it. Magic.
Yep. The next thing that I think fails and the next thing that succeeds. So there's the whole business of site reliability engineers, SREs. Site reliability engineers, what we want AI to do is reduce the number of errors that they do. Because right now, every time an SRE does a mistake in the deployment of software, doesn't matter if it's in the CI/CD pipeline, it doesn't matter if it's in the deployment product of the deployments into production, if it's troubleshooting and somebody logs in and leaves Bastion hosts up, all the stuff that is done mechanically today is very prone to human error. Unfortunately, AI is not going to replace it because AI is a probabilistic system.
Yep.
And until you'll get to the point in time where the probabilistic system is less error prone than the human system, and it's not there yet, people will not, and also you need somebody to fire. So if you say, oh, I tried to deploy the software and the AI broke it, that's not an acceptable answer.
That is an interesting thing that we've discussed internally in my company about, can AI SOC completely replace managed detection response, MSSPs, and there was a discussion about the psychology for a CISO actually hiring a company of human beings versus choosing software. So the thing is, companies bring in MDR, managed detection response companies, the Arctic Wolves, the Expels, Red Canary, and all those kind of companies. So they feel that there is experts running, looking at stuff. Now, most of the thing, it's automation, and it's not that good. But we come and ask them, why wouldn't you go and replace it with autonomous SOC, with AI, with agents? So at the end of the day, they will be using that, all those services. And they don't tell you that, the CISOs, but you get a feeling that if you chose a technology and you got breached, then it's on you.
Yep.
You chose a bad solution, it's on you. We were popped, it's your fault. Versus you outsourced it to a company that is also using technology, but let's say it has human beings in it, and you got popped. We'll fire them. It's on them. We can put blame on that. Now, it doesn't matter in both cases. Cybersecurity insurance kicks in. There is no legal, but there is something about us feeling if we put a technology, then the blame is on us. If we hire people, the blame is on the people that we hired. It's not going to be on us. We hire the best, and we just move to another vendor. So that's something interesting. It's more psychology of us human beings.
But so
we prefer to trust human beings than to trust technology.
it is possible. But what I do think when you talk about the managed SOC, here's the thing if SRE is a deterministic process, that people are not willing to be taking errors in the SRE process and in the SOC process. There's a similar, what I call evidence collection stage, and initial diagnosis stage, where AI is going to play a big role.
That's what we do.
Because
absolutely.
What you need to be able to do is scan logs and come back and say, you know what? I think the problem's there. Or even after you've researched the problem and you've pinpointed where the breach happened, and you need to build what is called a ticket of saying, we saw this problem at this point in time doing this. It's exactly like your pivot tables, but out of logs.
Yeah.
So basically,
It's exactly that. That's what the human beings in the SOC are doing. They have pivot tables. They open.
what I'm expecting
tools.
is that my friends in Splunk are going to do amazing stuff, sitting on logs and coming back.
Your friends in Splunk should come talk to us at Intercept because we're already doing it.
It is possible, but coming and building that outcome. We're doing this a lot for identity investigation. I'm expecting something similar to happen in the threat investigation.
Right. And then something that cross-correlate everything, the endpoint, the network,
Exactly.
the identity.
To build that construct.
Right. That's the autonomous SOC. That's what it is.
Exactly. The last thing is something that I call intent-based access. Right now, policies in organizations are a disaster.
You went to your favorite thing. I mean, we started with mainframe and you're getting to compliance and policy.
Exactly. Nothing is better than compliance and policy to put people to sleep. You know my business. My business is find the most boring topic that nobody wants to touch, but everybody has to do.
Sure.
And make money out of this. MDocs became a monstrosity because nobody wants to deal with billing. You talk about billing, you put people to sleep. You talk about accounting.
Let's get back to your point.
Intent-based access. Right now, everybody wants to build an intent-based access policy. What does an intent-based policy means? Right now, in our systems, nobody can build a policy that is granular enough to give you access just for what you need. Right now, I need to give you very broad, coarse-grained permissions. I need to give you access to Salesforce, right? Mm-hmm. You don't need access to Salesforce. You're a CMO. Do you need to know that at this point in time, this person called that customer? No, you don't care about that. What you want to be able to know is big picture thing.
The reporting, the few things. Yes.
Exactly. So either you go through an Alex that builds you all these nice dashboards and you see it at the dashboards, or you can ask a question and say, look, at this point in time, I need this information. I don't need this forever. I don't need an open token to Salesforce. You basically say, I want to get access to Salesforce to see this data. And an agent will build the data for you. Will it be accurate? Sort of. Is it better than what the people do? Yeah, probably. Because most of the time these reports suck and have problems. But then you have at least a starting point.
So this is, I still don't see it ready for production, but this is definitely a layer on all the applications, all the databases that is super helpful. And
there will
when Microsoft is talking about agent instead of, basically the regular dashboard UI UX we get when you build your queries and stuff. That's what they're talking about.
I think intent-based access, basically adding a layer between the coarse-grained APIs to the fine-grained access that humans actually need. Mm-hmm. This is the next layer of startups.
Yeah, that's also what old applications are now building.
Yeah, so they don't know what they're doing. This is why they need me. So
hire Didi.
Not in hire Didi. I'm going to build a startup and sell it to somebody, probably Cisco.
Should you say it already?
Who cares? So they're either going to let me build it internally, or I need to go out. Look, it happened last time. If somebody wants to let me build it internally, I'll build it internally.
That's cool.
Cool.
Okay.
Intent-based access. Wait for it. It's going to be awesome.
Awesome. Go build it.
Awesome. I think we're ready for Elvis.
We have Elvis.
We have Elvis.
Producer Dave.
I had it a minute ago, and
don't worry,
I forgot.
Don't forget.
It's called the laughing version.
The laughing version.
version of-
Please put it. It's, again, legendary.
Legend. Wait for it. No. So Elvis is not even a boomer. Elvis is the silent generation.
Like Joe Biden.
Joe Biden.
Are you sorry we drifted?
It's also the time that he's probably was so high.
Does your memo?
It's a benzos pills.
Yes.
Now, do we know when he gets suppressed? Is it? You want me to move forward?
You can move forward. It's later. She comes in.
Oh, wait.
Seem empty and bare. Do you get
He's looking to his left
your
as if.
forehead and wish you had hair? Did you
Oh, see, he starts laughing there.
feel with pain?
I think that's not the original video.
Right.
Tell me, dear, are you lonesome? Oh, Lord.
So I couldn't find the video, but
Okay.
maybe I'll find it later.
So that is Elvis laughing.
It might not have been recorded. Maybe they just have
Maybe there
the
is no
audio.
video, yeah.
Stage and each must play a part.
No.
No, it doesn't match.
That does match.
Doesn't
Somebody
match.
put it in whatever video.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Yep.
Yeah.
Elvis laughing at Are You Lonesome Tonight?
It's.
So, Lital, are you lonesome tonight?
I hope so. Well, with that, thank you for listening to the Didi and Lital show. We hope to see you again next week. Please rate and review us and share with friends. We will be here next week with some more wisdom. Have a great one. Bye-bye, Didi.
Bye, Lital.